Hey, what's up, y'all? Brian Kennedy here. Hits Healing Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Marc Coronel, myself, and Angelique Sinalou. If you can feel it, you can heal it.
Literature you're reading, and even if I don't understand it, I'm going to figure a way to do that, right? Because when we talk about that, this is how much being sick costs, and these are all my medical bills. These are my medical bills. This is what, and I keep this too, man, because you got to understand something, is that being that sick really costs a price outside of the successes we go to. God. Outside of the people who are saying, you know what, Mark, Brian, let's go out and have a drink. Let's go do this, man. But some people are unfortunate enough, you know, in areas all over this nation, whose credit scores are dropping, who's now losing their home because they need this dialysis treatment, who are living in cars and going from a car to a dialysis center, back into their car and trying to Uber just to make a living. These are real people's stories here, you know. And when you talked about your music, it was really interesting. I seen you one time. I seen you perform, and for the first time in my life listening to music, I closed my eyes because you were a patient. And I looked at you and I just closed my eyes and heard you play. Bear in mind, I've never, you know, whatever gets thrown my way, I can hear it. But when you hear it from someone who you understand their story before their talent, shows a different type of understanding of, I respect him for the man he is, not for what he does.
Man.
So I closed my eyes, man, and I remember crying, man, because it was so empowering to close my eyes and hear the pain you were playing in your notes, realizing that music to me meant me and you sick.
Wow.
And I listened to what that meant and cried because of that, because someone understood to play on a note what my emotions were feeling that I wish I can express in another way if they couldn't understand my verbal communication.
I think it's the hardest thing is to be able to communicate what's going on in here and here, and also when you're feeling something in your body that I don't feel. And how can you communicate that to me? How can you communicate that to your doctors? How can you communicate that to anybody outwardly who is supposed to give you care? And so Brian and I talk a lot about how we think that music can be really integral to this healing process, how it can really help translate and transmute what you're feeling in here, you know, through music and how you receive it. You know, I think if we develop a universal language, you know, I think music is a universal language.
Right.
It's a really good stepping stone to help people communicate, for patients to communicate to care partners, patients to communicate to their doctors, to pharma, and the back and forth. Because what I've seen, you know, and I say from the outside because my experience is different, and even though I'm in it, but it's a different experience from the patient. Is I have seen the miscommunication, and for people who desperately need to be able to communicate, I think that in order to get help for health, we have to be able to translate these things, and people have to be open on both ends. Patients, doctors have to be open. And I think music is a great way to open that pathway, to bridge this gap that I am continually seeing, especially with Black and Brown people. I think that the misunderstanding is so huge, and I see how it's really impacting patients in such a negative way.
Right. So here's something interesting. I was speaking to a doctor the other day. I was just randomly speaking to a nephrologist. I said, why is there a disconnect between doctors and patients? He said, I took 8 years to learn a specific language. It's taking me a lifetime to get back to talk to the regular person.
Yeah.
That is deep. That's real.
But it should be an inception. I think in school, that is the thing when we talk about education. You know, yes, this is a very long process to become a practicing doctor, right? You know, you have this school, you have this school, then you have your residency, you have, you know, da 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 da. And along this process, why are we not integrating this from day one? This should be your patient is your lifeline as well.
Right.
You know?
Right. You want to speak on that with your doctor visits?
That's real, because for me, and I always say, like you said, patient and doctor, and using music as a through line to create a human experience. For me, because I used to be intimidated by the words and the white coats and the verbiage, and I started realizing, like, it's doctors practicing. They're practicing on us. And so I think I started my confidence, because I'm about patient advocacy and preventative healthcare if possible.
Right.
And as a patient, I learned that we have to speak up, and if the doctor doesn't fit what we're trying to go, I have to get another doctor. It took me a while to learn that, but you know, I did have my my struggles with that, because it's such a disconnecting connection, and that's what another reason why we, like, again, with Hits Healing, we focus on reaching, teaching, connecting, right? RTC. We reach through equity, obviously. We teach through education, and we connect through community. And what does that mean on both sides when you reach, teach, connect? And I find myself, I know you do as well, and Angelique, we're doing breakout sessions now where doctors are sitting down asking us questions, because I don't know what it takes to be a doctor, but I'm pretty sure your mind is focused on every detail and precision. So it's kind of understanding, like, the doctor is like, it's almost like being a Mozart on the piano or something, right? For me, I went the other, I'm half. Like, I started learning how to read music and sheet music. I had this Russian piano teacher who was like, we're gonna do this. And I was like, I don't know, I don't wanna go that hard. I don't wanna be that, because I might not come back from that. You know, so I'm just a musical genius type of thing, where it's just, I only think about music, then the human experience gets lost in that. Right. And so, but then being too, like, creative, and so, like, what's the mid ground? And so I think now I'm starting to see more nephrologists and more doctors and different organizations and certain pharmaceutical companies want to connect. And I think it's our job as creatives and patients to tell our own stories, and showcase our own stories and say, here's our voice. Y'all have to listen to it, because whatever y'all was listening to before, it ain't working. You know, whatever. And I always say a joke, like, going to an event and seeing doctors speak is like seeing musicians play the piano. Like the bass players doing this and jamming out. I can tell people all types of terms. They'll be like, what is that? What I play is what you feel, but if I broke it down, you'll be like, why? And so to me, it's cutting out the technical side and bringing the heart into it. And if we can figure out those conversations, I think the bridges can be gapped. And I think people want to be. You know what I'm saying? Want to be connected.
They want to do the connection. You know, it's interesting, when I was getting a kidney transplant, people wanted to help, they just didn't know how.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They just want to help. So someone say, hey man, you need any money for food, medications, how much is a kidney transplant? We're all on this wavelength of trying to do something and help, but the problem is the disconnect between languages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're connecting by doing that through music. Yeah. Because I'm affected by it. Yeah. I can listen. Yo, Mark, listen to this. A string gets hit. I'm like, wow, I didn't know I had like a C, D, E, F, G in my soul.
Come on, bro. Like, come on.
You know, and just hearing that. So, you know, I talk to a lot of these. I've seen you in some of these places, right? And when you get them outside of their coat, you see that they're normal people as well, who are asking the same questions that we're asking, just in a different way. And that's the interesting thing about it, is that, all right, well, why don't we understand each other in the hospital, but when we're outside, the information you want to know, you could be doing that while we're in clinic. So we can come to a middle ground. I went through 15 nephrologists, 5 different transplant centers. I was placed in 5 different transplant centers, man. I know the conversation that's happening, man. I needed to. You know?
Why 5 different transplant centers?
In the state of California, an O negative, O positive is a 10-year wait. You go to somewhere in Arizona, it's about a 6 to 8 year wait. You go to Baltimore, Maryland, another time difference. New York, Florida, Dallas, Texas. I mean, I wanted to live. And the only way I could do that is go to every different transplant centers, because staying on dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 3.5 hours is very, very draining. You lose hope, you lose inspiration, you lose a lot of things that you never thought you'd lose. you'll go through 5 different emotion states. It's called DABDA: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and at what point am I going to get that acceptance? I'm here now with a kidney transplant, and I know 15 medications a day, 105 a week, 420 a month, 5,040 a year just to stay alive. I still don't accept that, and I got to just still keep going.
Yeah.
This is my pain, and the only way I can resolve my pain is to face it head on and really, really focus on my mission. Because once there's going to be a person who is going through our journey that doesn't know where to start. Hits the healing, we're creating a lane. Marc Coronel, this is what this kid did. Read his story. Watch Brian's story. Look at what they're doing. They're using their God-given talent and they're utilizing it to tap into the people who understand their journey. Community, common in unity. Yeah. That's how we build. Teamwork. Together, everyone achieves motivation. Absolutely. We lose our hope. We lose our inspiration. We lose everything in that dark hole. What success can show you, rock bottom can. When you learn what that rock bottom is, tell me what you're not thankful for and I'll show you why you should be.
Yeah. You both mentioned that black hole. I want to talk about some of the light at the end of that tunnel. Your donor. I would love to hear about your donor because I've seen her picture on your IG page. And when you wished her a happy birthday, I just thought it was so beautiful how you honor her. And I was thinking about that blessing. And what does that feel like to somebody to give you an organ? Like, what does that feel like for you as a human being to say, somebody gave me something from themselves so that I could live?
You know, it's interesting. I just want to give her a shout, man. This woman. Is it Shauna? Shauna Robinson. Yeah, I just want to just share that. Is that she was a bone marrow donor.
Wow.
My sister reaches out to her. My wife was actually on the list as well. She went through the transplant evaluation. And my sister texts her, hey, if you guys know anybody, she has 2 friends, one Alyssa, one Shauna Robinson. You guys work in healthcare. She was the medical coder for UCLA. If you guys know anybody who wants to donate a kidney, I know you guys are in healthcare. Can you please help my brother? He's now fighting for his life. She said, I'll do it.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Wow.
No hesitation. I'll do it. Where do I gotta go? What do I gotta do to do the evaluation?
You only need one kidney.
Only
so
need one.
Know.
You only need one, and you know.
Dang.
I have been denied a lot on a kidney transplant list. When it's not like a no where you're trying to bid for a home in real estate and they said, no, we got somebody with a better offer. Oh, okay. It's not like saying, hey man, nah man, I can't help you out today. Or it's just a different type of no, because the people that did come forward, I got rejected a lot more than I did receive a yes. But that one yes matched more to me than my biological sister.
Wow.
Her HLAs matched by 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
She was my blood type. And here's an interesting story that I don't really share on social media.
Oh, I'm gonna pull you in, sir. Sorry. You came in.
There. Wow.
Just
this
to
is
say
amazing.
hi. I caught you off guard, but we're talking
That's
about.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah.
We're talking about donors, and you just popped your head in. You weren't supposed to be.
What's up, man?
But this is. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, this is Kevin, my brother. Also my. Come on in, man.
Come on in. Look.
Come on in. Go ahead and see. Go ahead. Come on. Right there for
we got 5 minutes. They'll be okay. The kids will be okay.
Yeah.
The impromptu.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What's up, brother? What's up, dude? How you doing, man? You good?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have met before?
Yeah, we've met.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We've met. You know, it's interesting because every donor I do see now is a hero to me.
Yeah.
It's a hero. These are the people who have capes that we just don't see.
Yeah.
This is what humanity looks like when someone gives at their most highest point to save someone else's life.
I appreciate that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you, man. You just came in like out of nowhere while I was talking about mine, but I am so grateful for my donor, and I know Brian is too, because you don't understand the gratitude we get as humans to not have to go through the pain and somebody comes through and says, look, man, I got you.
Yeah. And it's a testament to his character. Kevin's coming in and just checking on everything. Since I was pretty much born, he was like a year and a half older than me. Do music. He would always be in the corner, like, you cool, you straight. And I was fortunate so it's 5 of us. And all 4 of my brothers and sisters were a match. Right? But I was working with another transplant institution that declined it. And was like, oh yeah, no, we're not going to do it. I'm like, so I still have to wait on the list. But how I approached Kevin was like, yeah, I need a kid. And he was like, cool, whatever's yours. Like, I mean, I'm just like, bro, cool. I know you let me, I'll be wrecking your shoes. I used to wear shoes and stuff, tear stuff up, whatever.
Right.
But he was like, yeah, cool, no problem, without hesitation.
And there are parents who will not donate for their children. Yeah. You know, we hear these stories often. So to have someone you don't know donate, brother, donate, this is not a small thing. This is huge, you know.
The testing is insane, right?
Yeah.
You got to hold a 24-hour urinal. You got to do your blood pressure. You got to do your blood pressure for 24 hours.
You have to do a psych test too?
Yep.
You got to do a psych evaluation.
Turns out he's a genius.
He's off the charts. That too. You're like, man, you top 50%. I'm like, oh.
You know, so that's why the process alone to get a kidney transplant.
Yeah.
And because they don't let us talk. They don't let our teams talk.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, our teams don't talk. We have our team, they have their team.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true.
And then what happens is we have our own teams and then they meet midpoint. Can this happen? Because what the hospital doesn't want a liability on is having 2 patients instead of 1.
Right. I know. I got you off guard because
sorry, man.
you were right there. You said, look. It's but I just thought it was just so poignant that you just popped in at that time. So I just wanted to bring you in and say thank you.
Thank you.
Because you are my hero.
Yeah, and that's the light, man. The light at the end of not end of the tunnel, but that's the beginning of a new space and a new journey, man. What would you encourage a patient who don't have the voice to speak up or don't have the confidence or don't have the resources? Like, what would you say to that person?
That your vulnerability is your strongest strength. The quicker you can accept what you got going on for yourself, the quicker people will help. The thing you got to realize with humanity, because our world is pretty intense, is that, again, I'll reflect back to that same statement, people want to help, they just don't know how. And people can't help because you're not sharing what means most to you. You know, when I was doing all these prayers, God didn't give me what I wanted. He gave me everything I needed.
Man.
I prayed that I was something different. I prayed that I was going to win a world champion. But what I got is a championship kidney belt. That route might have not been for me. I probably would have died in the ring. But now I have a kidney transplant that is one of the best belts that I don't even have to fight for after. Just on how I move now to making sure that this kidney is always going to work for me. Right?
Man.
We met somebody in Seattle. How long has he had his kidney for? Did he get it in the, I think 40 years?
3 years ago.
Right.
Still.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you ask me, so who are the types of people you look up to?
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, right? So when now people ask me, well, who now do you look up to? A patient who can hold a kidney transplant for 43 years.
Woo. Yeah, no, I was turned up. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool, I got a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because literature says 10 to 12 for deceased, 15 to 20 for a living kidney donation. You sit there with a man 43 years, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, he was just joking, talking, and all this stuff. And I know you're about to wrap up and everything, but I do want to like acknowledge and thank the caregivers, the cornerstones of our life.
Yes,
our
my
existence.
wife, Cindy Ackman, in the building today, of course. Yeah. They are our backbones, and understand that a lot of the times when we can't share our stories, those people behind us are the first ones to do so.
Yeah.
So even with the people who will be listening to this, man, to the people who are right behind you, Those are the people that are going to be fighting with you till the wheels fall off, man. We've witnessed that. And it's always going to happen. You got to know your team, whether it's healthcare, family, or friends. Know your team. Develop your team. Know who you want to be around. I know the type of nephrologist I want to be around. You know, I know the type of friends that I'd say I can have some dinner with. Right? And being able to create that after 5 years now post kidney transplant. Where are you at?
8.
8. So I'm right behind you. 5 and 8. There it is.
Feeling good.
Feeling amazing.
Every day gets better and better.
Right.
And
So
just, blessed, man.
This is a blessing for us to be here, to share. We got someone who's 5. We got someone who's 8, and know that things are possible. Things are possible. You just gotta pray in what you believe in. Whatever you believe in life is what's gonna get you through this. Because hope sometimes picks you up when you question your why. And when you question your why, that's where that will flip, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. For every storm, there's a sun. For every raindrop, it's gonna dry, right?
What did you say for fear? What was the acronym for fear?
Fear. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise.
Yeah.
So you're like a songwriter too, huh?
That's just
You're out here dropping bars though. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Music. I'm just like, hold on, you need the album. That's another story another day, but bro,
there it
the
is.
motivation album, bro.
Of course. Nah, dude.
No, I'm saying like everything you say, I'm putting music behind it. Album
okay.
done.
All
You
right,
already did it. It's
That's
done. The
amazing.
album's done.
Amazing.
Dropping the album next year
Yeah.
for the 6th year.
It's a lot of amazing. It's a lot of. There's a lot of. You learn a lot about yourself when you fight when you fight in an illness that a lot of people can't comprehend. And I know we got to wrap this up, but I just want to emphasize that a healthy person has 1,000 wishes and a sick person has 1. And when we know that one wish, and that's a very universal language of saying that, but we only want one wish, and that's to be healthy.
Yeah.
Man. And I say this too, as a patient, if you don't trust yourself sometimes, because it can be fleeting. Like some days when I was going through my stuff left or right, and I'm like not feeling like paying attention to like I find that one person you trust and let that person, like as a caretaker, help you. Because I know for me, like I was like, I'm rebelling today. But I was leaking somebody like, well, have you medicine? Have you done this? And it's like, let me listen to who cares about me. Because sometimes I didn't care about me as a patient. It's hard, it's easy to not care about anything when you don't feel like anything.
Yeah, I love you, baby, by the way. Thank you for doing that for me. Right? That's amazing. She's on that.
Yeah, look at me.
9 o'clock, she's like, it's 9 o'clock, take your pill.
I can see by the posture. I'm like, man, I promise I'm taking my medicine after this.
Yeah.
She's like, you take your medicine? I'm like, I got you. I'm taking my medicine, I'm drinking my water. Got you. Exactly. I love that. You can just see that. I love that. So anyhow, I'd be grateful for your story. You have motivated me. I'll be calling you. You got to show me some of your skills. So
of course, yeah. We got to get on
with this.
That's the hits
transfer
to healing.
Hits.
Mark said, I'm going to hit you if you don't stop.
Exactly.
They got to get healed. Yes. We're going to make hits in the process.
Yes, exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, anything you like to?
I'm always excited and honored when I get to spend time with you. Usually it's really brief and we're around lots of people. But I've heard you speak in bigger spaces and even just within groups of people at some of these events, and it's always so poignant and powerful. And I remember meeting you as well, like soon after your transplant, and you were jazzed. You were like, I'm pumped, I'm excited, I feel good. And I was like, this is infectious. This is what people need to see and need to hear. Like this transplant transition, this is like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Right. Story,
energy, and it gives me hope.
Right.
It gives people hope, that there is something on the other side of this.
Right.
And the more that you share this story, the more there will be more people who will donate, who will be donors. The more there will be people this will help them get through dialysis to the hope that they can get to transplant. And the more people who will be open to transplants, because there's that fear there of people who are not open and willing to have a transplant, obviously because it's scary. But as you all share your stories of triumph, I believe that it's going to help everyone from patients and doctors to heal more people.
Right.
And if you can feel it, you can heal it.
That's right.
That's it. My brother, thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I will always be here to root you on for your health journey, man. We have to motivate each other.
I feel less alone in this space, man.
Yeah,
you know,
we have to motivate each other, man, because patients are experts at being patients, but we're also expert at being patient.
Yes.
Man, and we are also people first.
Right.
Too. We still got dreams, still got ambitions, still got goals.
Of course.
And that's what we're going to do, continue to build.
Thank you.
So thank
of course.
Man.
Of course.
Perfection.
It was good. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.